Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss about the expansion of British power and administration in India. We know the Battle of Plassey has given them an edge or a facility to keep their foot strong in India, from where they established themselves and ruled the kingdom. So we know the Battle of Plassey was won by a conspiracy. The British East India Company purchased the neutrality of Mir Jafar, the commander-in-chief of Siraj-ud-Dawla, in agreement to make him Nawab after the death of Siraj-ud-Dawla. So naturally, when the soldiers did not fight against the British, Siraj-ud-Dawla was defeated and Mir Jafar was made a Nawab by the British. So when we have put our head under somebody, we know we have no choice, we have to obey whatever is told by the person who is holding our head or neck. So Mir Jafar obeyed whatever is told by the Britishers, gave them all facilities, they can do whatever they like. Still, once Mir Jafar tried to shake himself because he was being excused. So when he began to show little effort of shaking, the Britishers removed him and Mir Qasim, a relative of Mir Jafar, was placed in the throne of Bengal. But this Mir Qasim also was not coming directly under control of the East India Company's plan. So there was a friction, and that led into the Battle of Buxar. In the Battle of Buxar, the gap is around 9 years, 1757 to 6 years, we can 64, 7 years. Within that gap of 7 years, the British had recruited Indian soldiers and utilized the money that is collected from Mir Jafar to pay the Indian soldiers and train them in the European style of warfare. To that team, Mir Qasim, the Nawab of Awadh, that's in UP, named Siraj Shuja-ud-Dawla, and the Mughal Emperor Shah Alam, they fought against the British at Buxar, this is in Bihar, and was defeated. So in the Battle of Buxar, Britishers have really won with the soldiers who were trained in India. So naturally, they became morally powerful also. Otherwise, in the Battle of Plassey, they were not morally powerful because they had cheated. But this has given them morally power also. Then the Mughal Emperor permitted British East India Company to collect the taxes from Bengal, Bihar and Orissa by the Treaty of Allahabad in 1765. So the Mughal Emperor was Shah Alam. The Governor General of British East India Company was Robert Clive. So agreement was signed. So as per the agreement, before the signature of the agreement itself, Mir Jafar, who had been again made Nawab after the Battle of Buxar, died. So British government decided not to have any puppet, but to take over the government by themselves. Because they thought they can utilize the money, then depend upon anybody. Entire area tax collection they got. Now they need not bring gold from Britain to give to the traders to purchase the materials from India, because the tax that they collected could be utilized for that. And a huge tax collection was there. When Mir Jafar was there, 5 lakhs rupees per month was being given to the Britishers. So 5 lakhs is a huge amount of that time, you must understand. So that much tax was being collected from the people. Then only Mir Jafar could give. So naturally then Mir Jafar wanted his expenditure. So after that much was being given to the Britishers. So Britishers thought that if that is possible, why can't they get more? That is the reason of Battle of Plassey and Buxar. So they became the real rulers. So they could collect the taxes. They could construct buildings anywhere because they were the authority to give the permission. And they could do anything because nobody could question them. Mughal Empire had become weak. And the company officials began to amalgamate illegal wealth. Means in the record something they will show, illegally they used to collect the money, make the profit. Even Robert Clive, who was appointed to Bengal to check the corruption, made plenty of money illegally, and he was questioned by the British Parliament for that. And he committed suicide because of the shame that he had. Because plenty of wealth he had accumulated illegally. I think the salary was there, their income was there, but illegal connections. So inquiry will come. Nowadays we know police or Income Tax Department, Enforcement Directorate, all go to the persons whose names are connected with so many illegal activities. Those who have got proper correct income, they don't write, they don't inquire about it. So when there is a malpractice, so British Parliament questioned Robert Clive, you must understand. Because they came to know that he has collected ill-gotten wealth. That's what has happened about Robert Clive. So the Britishers now, after the Battle of Buxar, they began to expand. They wanted to conquer India. And in Bengal, nobody would question them. Because nobody had guts to challenge the Britishers at that time. So they know that if they attack Indian kings may come together and they may have to go out. So they played the trick. One by one they began to catch Indian kings, not directly, not together. So they persuaded Indian kings to keep a resident in the Indian king's palace. That's the first step they did. So what is the work of the resident? This resident would check the activities of the kings. And if the king is doing everything normal, is nothing against the British, or not doing anything against the British, or not trying to contact with other European powers, the resident would not interfere. So if the Indian king is trying to expand himself, trying to become powerful and strong, develop a strong army, and think about fighting against the British, then Britain would interfere and destroy the Indian kings. Then they applied a policy of subsidiary alliance. They told that Indian kings should be provided with the British soldiers, well trained, well equipped, talented British soldiers will be placed under Indian kings. And Indian kings had to pay the salary of the soldiers, the facility of the soldiers. This is known as subsidiary alliance. So that was the agreement. So nobody would attack those Indian kingdoms if an agreement is signed by the British for subsidiary alliance. Awadh had no choice, it accepted. So when Awadh was not having money to pay the soldiers, British took out some of the land, some pieces of land of Awadh. Then later by 1854, complete Awadh was made part of British. Like Hyderabad also. Like the small kingdoms or little powerful kingdoms were brought under the control of British. In South India, there was a kingdom under leadership of Hyder Ali, Mysore. Hyder Ali was not ready to accept subsidiary alliance, and Hyder Ali did not permit the Britishers to do whatever it likes. That led into a conflict between Hyder Ali and the British. They are known as Anglo-Mysore Wars. 4 wars are fought between Mysore King Hyder Ali and his son Tipu and Britishers. They are 1767 to 69, 1780 to 84, and 1790 to 92, and 1799. In some Britishers won, some Hyder Ali won, or Tipu has won, but Britishers were not ready to accept it. Their defeat. When they are at losing end, they will make an agreement with the Mysore. After again they will violate the treaty or agreement and attack the Mysore. That was going on. When they are at leading end, they will never agree for any kind of treaty or agreement. But when they are at losing end, they will come for a peace treaty. After peace treaty is over, again they will make more strength, weapons and our facilities, then attack. This was going on. In 1799, Tipu was killed at Srirangapattam. And the fight or the problem for Britishers of Mysore was over. So like that, wherever there is some friction, somebody who is fighting against the Britishers, they were forcibly taken over by the Britishers. So this is what the Britishers did to conquer India. There's another policy, that is doctrine of laws. That we'll discuss later. Then expansion or defeat of Marathas by the British. Same policy they followed. We'll see how Marathas were defeated tomorrow.